And we are live. Another episode collaborating pulled together a little bit earlier in the week because tomorrow I'm getting dental surgery. So I'm gonna be out of commission. But joining us, we got Steve Fernandez, my co-host, and coming back with us is Aiden LeMay, a city slicker that just re-secured his spot on the team after an amazing weekend. Oh my God, this weekend was all fireworks from the super matches to the tournament. Everything was fire. I thoroughly enjoyed my time. Again, Steve Fernandez, thank you so much for putting on the show, man. You put on a show for the ages. I was just had the privilege and the opportunity to record it and stream it. You made the magic happen, though. You made it happen, brother.
Well, I can't do it without you guys, so it wouldn't be a show without you guys, and it wouldn't be as successful as it is. And we're just getting better and better with these cameras, with the venues, with the food. It's getting to a different level. You know what I mean? It's having over 227 entries for the Battle of the Tri-State 2. I was expecting over 200. It was a long day. It was 12 super matches. We started at 12:30. They went till about 3:30, 4 o'clock, and we had the tournament go from 4 till 8:30. So as far as that goes, for a tournament to run 4.5 hours, I think that's pretty good. And having all those super matches too as well that were absolutely phenomenal. And another congratulations to Aiden LeMay on not only stepping up, but I think this brought him into a different bracket now with Aiden. Just for the fact that, Flip is no joke. We've seen Flip with his left hand. He's an absolute dominant puller with his left hand. I didn't know what was going to happen between you and Flip, just for the fact that I remember the match with you and Wade. Much more of a fight with you and Wade. Didn't expect
Go on
that
YouTube.
to
You
go
can
that
watch it
way.
on the phone and see.
You know, so I'm really happy and I'm
Be
proud of
curious
you,
to see
Aiden.
how it comes out on your phone.
How really you figured it out. You adapted, very quickly. Your table IQ is just on a different level. Your strength is just, you're getting stronger and stronger. Your speed is undeniable. As soon as you get that shoulder in, it's almost impossible to get you out. Um, so yeah, I'm so happy for you to be on the team of City Slickers, Aiden, and to take this to the next level. Um, yeah, man, I'm happy. I'm proud of you, and I can't wait for us to demolish Virginia.
Yeah, I'm super excited. It was a pretty good match. Flip is really good. The thing is, he's fast, but when I was watching back some of his matches, he's not that fast. The thing is, he just accelerates really fast. So I know if I just jam in there and if I'm able to stop him from accelerating, then I'll probably win the match. But
Well,
he
you
definitely
did.
surprised me that first match. He's no joke. Probably the most annoying person to pull with his setup. His setup's very tough. The main thing that was working on my side for that match was I have pretty good endurance, and Flip was burning out pretty quickly.
Yeah, I saw that.
By the third round, he wasn't able to get out of my hand without elbow fouling,
Right.
even when I was going up top with him trying to top roll him. But yep, everything worked out. I didn't think endurance was going to be that much of a factor. I was planning that I was going to have to jam inside and stop him, but my endurance definitely proved to be superior in that aspect. And it was a good match. I felt pretty in control for the last 2 rounds, but
I'm gonna have to fucking do
he
something
gave
weird.
it his all.
Yeah, very impressive. Very impressive match. A very impressive win. Like I said, this brings you to another elite level to be, killing these guys. It was a 3-1 match, left hand, and I thought it was going to be
What?
closer. I thought it was going to be 3-2. I didn't really know who was
I
going to
don't
win,
understand.
but yeah, it was great. It was absolutely phenomenal. I'm ecstatic that all the people that 1-1, and yeah, man, it's a great night, phenomenal night. It really was.
Yeah. Wait, one sec. Dan, just real
Yes, sir.
quick. I did not get to see how you did in the tournament. How did you do?
So the tournament, I only pulled left-handed, saving the right arm
Oh,
because
you
I got a
didn't?
super
Oh
match
yeah,
coming up.
you've got the match at Mac, right?
Yep, up in Mac. We'll talk about that a little later on in the show.
Okay.
But left arm I actually did much better than I thought I was. I was so pulled in so many different directions with the cameras, making sure everything was working right. So I just jumped up there. I was getting ready for a tournament, but I wasn't like anticipating a great performance. I went 2-2. I beat Matt Bush left-handed, and then I got beat by who was it? Sam Mitchell,
Pavlik.
and then I
Malik.
beat Matt
And,
Morrison by fouls, and then lost to Malik.
yeah, that's another match I want to see too. I was thinking about Morrison and Tyler Edlin, or you and Morrison.
Yeah, I was. I actually, I guess I lied. I was wondering if you pulled right hand, but I did see your left hand match with Matt Morrison, and that was an incredible match. That was really
I got
close.
it. Big shout out to Matt, man, because he's leveled up tremendously. I mean, I've seen him in the tournament in the brackets a few times, and I've faced him a few times. I've never felt him so strong, so connected, so coordinated. It really caught me by surprise. I was taking him lightly, and I won't. If I do face him again across the table, I won't be taking him as lightly as that. He's an
I
impressive
don't
puller now. He's definitely leveled up.
Yeah, I would say so. He definitely leveled up. His press is absolutely disgusting, man. Once he gets behind that, it's a very hard press to get. Um, the other thing I want to talk about is Andrew's match. First of
Yeah,
all,
Andrew's sideways right
hit your
now
fucking
with his
screen.
throwing.
There we go.
Yeah, leave it
And
like that, Andrew.
I want to
All right. Last time I was too far away. Now this time I'm
You're good.
vertical.
You're good. You're good. No, but I want to congratulate Andrew on his wins, left and right. Absolute monster. I'm going to be very honest. You had your hands full, Andrew. You had your hands
Yeah.
full yesterday. You were fighting for that. You were. I think you think it was an actually closer match than you thought it was going to be. Is that true?
I'm going to disagree. So the truth is, now that it's all over, is that I planned or thought that it was going to be a tough match. I never thought right-handed it was going to be an easy match. Um, you know, I gave Kevin a lot of credit in between some shade throwing here and there, but Kevin's really good at what he does. I look back at some videos and I'm laughing, because we're at the table and I didn't know the referees were mic'd up, right? So I was laughing because Kevin and I were setting up, and he goes to the ref. He's carving, and there's a video of me going, carving. I'm not carving, and like I can hear like his girlfriend or somebody laughing in the background. And I'm like, dude, there he goes. There Kevin goes, man. He is a funny little cheater, man. But so he was doing
Look,
that. But
if you're not trying to cheat on the table, you're not
that's what
trying
I
to know.
hear. That's what I hear. I'm still trying. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. I like to spin it off and say, if you're not trying to gain as much advantage or decrease your disadvantage, you're not trying.
I like that. I like that.
But
Wording is everything, and I like that.
yeah. So but I surprised myself. I really Kevin's hook is really strong, and his press is really strong, and he's really good at transitioning between both of those moves. He comes in at it and with it very fast, and he's got a plan B. If you take his wrist, he goes in with a press, and even though it's going to come, it's hard. You can't even see it coming, even when you know it's coming. It's hard to
Very
time.
fast. Very fast.
And then what was really difficult, it was frustrating, was that I'm in the process of, he knows what I'm going to do. I'm top rolling, he's pressing, and he would transition from the hook to the press, and he would blow my elbow right off the side of the pad.
I saw that.
And I'm like, he's pushing me off the pad. He's pushing me off the pad. And the referees, are like, no, it's an elbow foul on you. And I'm like, but
He's
I'm
not
not
pushing you
doing
on the
that.
back of the pad. He's pushing you off of the side of
Right,
the pad.
right. So because he's going towards the pin pad or whatever, it's legal. It's like one of those like dirty moves, in my opinion. But
I'm going to be honest with you. I press, and a lot of the times that happens, and they end
you
up.
get
Yeah,
you get them to
that
foul out.
happens.
Yeah.
How many
Yeah.
times did I talk to you about this, Dan? That I beat these guys over there at the Contender Series because they should have beat me. I got
Yeah,
100%, but
But you got
I
them to foul out
hit
because they
so
shouldn't
hard.
have done.
That's what it was. I was hitting so
Mm,
hard that they would
mm.
go off the pad, and then they were like, "Well, he's pushing me," and I was like, "I'm hitting towards the pad, dude. If you can't keep your hand on the pad, that's not my fault." You know what I mean?
Yeah, like in boxing, you jab, set things up, and then you like body head.
Yep.
It was like similar in that he is giving you that pressure up high or in your wrist, and then he changes direction, and boom,
Yeah.
he's hitting down low where you don't have it anchored, and it just blew me right off the pad.
Yeah.
So I made the adjustment to bring my elbow more across my body, and I'm learning as I go. So I brought my elbow in, towards like more of the A side, and it worked out for me. When I was fouling out, because he had two victories on me by way of fouling.
Yep.
I fouled out two. I didn't realize that.
Yep.
And I'm thinking I'm gonna lose this match, man. Two fouls, and I've never been in that situation before. And then luckily, I made the decision to go in, and I heard a little birdie in my ear say something about, "Hey, move that elbow over." I moved the elbow over, and I was able to prevent that. And then I surprised myself with the surging. I surprised myself to be able to hold him because in the past he's been able to hit into my arm over and over and over again and open my bicep up. I figured as much as he would get me palm up, and I was training and practicing with some weight in that position and static holds, and I didn't stress out. I was breathing. I was concentrating. I didn't lose focus. And then when it was time to go, I surged, and I couldn't believe his arm just went right open. And I was like, yes. But I had to come back, you know, to get that victory. So it was 2-1, and I'm like, I can't figure this fouling shit out. And to come back, the next two wins back to back I was really happy. I was real proud of myself with that. You
Yeah.
know,
I would have to say, honestly, it was a great match.
it was a long
excellent
match.
match.
Very long
Was
match.
wasn't
you
it?
know.
That was a
Between
barn burner.
It was 3-2 on, what was it? 3-2 on right, 3-0 on left.
yes, yeah. My left is I don't know, man. People are asking me, you left-handed? I'm like, no, I don't know. But I train both arms, try to train them both equally. But I enjoy using the left. I feel like my left does more without as much thought than my right does. I feel like I can overcomplicate things with my right hand, and my left arm just kind of does what it does. But and it works. And then I did the tournament and ran into, I forget his first name. I think his last name is Thompson. He had a real good, strong left arm, and it was top roll for top roll. We got into the straps. That was really good. Shout out to Thompson. But yeah, no, I really surprised myself, man. And it's extra cold in my house today. Extra cold in my house today.
Yeah.
Extra cold in my
Oh,
house
there you
today.
go.
Yeah, that's what
Oh
I'm saying,
man,
dude. You were the only super match competitor that actually won 2 rings
really?
yesterday.
Yeah,
Hey, listen, I won two. I didn't know that, man.
that's a
I
big win
only I
right
only
there.
wanted one. I only wanted one, but I'm happy I got two, man. These are
Yeah,
really cool. And I think you must have increased the size, man, because I think the first
I
time these
did.
came out,
I
they
did.
didn't really fit on anyone's finger. It was more,
Yeah.
around the pinky. I'm
Yep.
not saying people are gonna go around and wear them, but tonight it's Super Bowl, and I got a couple Super Bowl rings.
Oh
So
yeah, definitely.
I'm
I
happy about
increased the
that.
size a little bit, so yeah,
I love
definitely.
that.
Yeah. Cheers. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm proud of Andrew, man. Andrew put in a lot of work. He was, coming around to the pit, coming around to all the Long Island arm wrestling crews, and getting work
Yeah.
in. And he showed a lot of hunger. Coming off of an injury, you when you were
That's
feeling
it.
better,
Yeah.
left no stone unturned. So it
You
shows
know,
proof in the pudding.
thank you. Yeah,
The
thank you for
results are
saying
right
that.
there.
Look, it was only just over 2 months ago. I was attempting to practice, and I would grip up with guys in the pit, with Dan and other guys that I felt safe enough with. I couldn't go training with other guys because I'd be wasting their time. So I was going there where I would feel safe enough to grip up with somebody that would allow me just to test my injury out or recovery out.
Right.
And I would be, going to touch. I go, I can't do anything. So I was really concerned sitting on the sidelines. And I said this to John Hutchins, is like, I really get it, man. Like being healthy and nursing an injury, when it's time to take the rest, you really need to take the rest.
Yeah.
So through this process, I've learned the differences between, something that's just achy or annoying versus what a real injury is. I mean,
Yeah.
being a new puller, it's hard to differentiate unless you've experienced an injury, an arm wrestling specific injury, because I've never had issues with my wrist or anything before. And now, I experienced it for the first time, and I'll know for next time. Things need some attention, give it attention. Things need rest, give it rest.
Good piece of advice right there.
Yeah, in 2 months of training, I really was worried. I was worried that, Kevin was going to take me on the right. But I was able to stay tight, control him, and I guess outlast him. I looked back at the video and I saw him surging into my arm, and it wasn't moving. But his arm wasn't moving either until I went for like a strong move, and I don't think I've been so low under the table before in my life. But
You're also going up against a 320-pound fucking monster.
yeah,
So
he's good, man. He's really good. He's really impressive.
Yeah.
I seen him too. He's wearing the shorts, and I realized he wore the shorts so he can make sure he can hike his leg up, because there's pictures of him. His left leg is over the table. His knee is higher than the table. That's how dedicated he is to that press.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
Yeah.
we also got. Go ahead, Steve.
no, go ahead. You were going to take the words right out of my mouth. Go ahead.
We got Steve. We got Sam Mitchell over here, who won his super match against Ed, and then killed it in the tournament afterwards. What's up, man? Happy to have you back here.
How's it going? Good to be.
What's going on, Sam? Fucking congratulations on your win. Keeping your
Thank you.
spot on the City Slickers and going to Virginia. It was a tough match. Shout out to Drew
Yes,
Rivers in the chat. Lucky Woods in the chat. Ed DeCruz, phenomenal puller, man, with Sam last night, one of the best matches. And same thing, congratulations, James Mason, on your match. You did absolutely phenomenal. Such a good. All the matches were so good last night, man.
They were fire matches. They were all fire.
Yeah, they were really good matches. Caleb's match, because I was standing behind the stage on deck, and I was sitting there watching it. I was so close to it, and he had a lot of energy. That fired me up. When he came back, and that was great.
Hell yeah.
That was a good match, man.
That
That was a
such
good
a good
starter
match.
match. That was great.
Yeah.
Tough act to follow, and then
Well,
It
I
worked
can tell
out.
you this much. I knew it was going to be a good match. I knew it was going to be an explosion match. That's why I put them first. And you kind of got to do your thing on, because a lot of people, what they do, and I don't agree with it, they put the lower end matches first, and then they build themselves up to the biggest match. If you do that, people are not going to be interested as they need to be, because they're kind of not really, they're waiting for the main event. But if you give them a portion of the main event in the beginning, a portion of the main event in the middle, and the actual phenomenal main event at the end, which was Bill Sinks and Miguel Fernandez. That's the way I think it should be done.
You know what it is, Steve? It's like you're doing a 10-course meal instead of an appetizer and an entree. You gave us a 10-course meal.
Exactly. You know what I mean? You're
There
getting
you
everything
go.
all at once, and you're not. There's no dead spots. I mean, if anything, some matches were, a little bit, I don't want to say closer, a little easier pulled than others, and others were absolute fucking wars. But to keep that high intensity going, you have to do that. It's got to be a great match in the beginning, great match in the middle, and a phenomenal match at the end.
Yeah, I saw something great from every match.
Yeah.
Sam Mitchell, I saw that match. Philippin, I think I've seen him once before, but something I took from that match was how fast he was. Caleb, how a young man would be that that persistent, resilient, and comeback and that much energy.
Oh yeah,
That was cool. I took something from every single match, man. It was really good.
it was very
Um,
impressive. I want to say probably the most impressive match of the night. I want to say it was probably Bill Sinks. You know, with how much experience, and Miguel Fernandez is no joke, man. I mean, you guys know
That was
Miguel.
a fire match.
He
Yeah.
hit so fucking hard.
They were stuck in the center table
Oh,
forever.
the first match, I mean, they were over a minute. You mean in the center of the table, hitting back and forth, and then I'd see Miguel hit, and he run into a wall, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like,
I'm always surprised. I never imagined. I never imagined or would place my money on Miguel losing. So anytime I see him get stopped or even his hand or get near the pin pad, I'm always shocked.
What caught my eye was at the Contender Series when Bill Sinks and Miguel Fernandez went at it, and Bill beat Miguel, but it was a fucking war. It was an all-out
Yeah.
war. So as soon as I seen that, I was like, "This has to happen. This has to happen out of 5." Because I don't know if people really know this, but Bill can pill for days. People might think that, oh, Bill's a little bit older, and Miguel's, he's so strong. Bill can pull for days. He's the marathon man. That guy will go pull for days. You know what I mean? So if you don't know him and you think that he's gonna gas out anytime soon, that's not gonna fucking happen. You know what I mean? And his hand is ridiculous. It's like the size of a fucking pitcher's mitt. You know what I mean? It's not massive hand. Massive
Hey,
hand.
let me say something before I forget to say this. Is that I came into arm wrestling without really knowing or learning everybody's names, even like the big guys, the main guys. You putting on these tournaments and being selective and hand picking people, you're giving me an opportunity to get to know everybody. Like I've never seen Sam Mitchell pull. I've seen Aiden pull, but I saw him at a tri-state event. I saw him pull Tim Lewis, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yep.
you doing these events are giving people like myself who are new pullers and new fans an opportunity to get to know these good arm wrestlers that are, when I say local, like in this community's names and reputation. I wouldn't have gotten to know anybody otherwise.
Yeah, I would say the pullers that are all picked, I want to say, are on that next level, are on that lip of being close to that elite. When they're pulling these guys, when they're on that next trim, it's like Aiden really showed a lot of heart. He always does. He so surprised me last night. I did not think it was going to be a 3-1. I thought it was going to be a 3-2, even closer match. I did not think that he was going to figure out Flip as
He
fast.
figured him out. He figured him out, and I saw when it happened.
Yep.
I was at the right angle. I saw his wrist block off that hit because that dude Flip was super fast. It was like, wow, it's like explosive.
Yeah. His explosivity is amazing. The fact that you stopped that in his tracks, Aiden, I was floored. I was like, what?
Yeah.
It was like watching the Flash.
But it's just the fact that he figured him out. He lost that first match almost just to figure out what he was going to do, it seemed like. And then the next match.
It's always the first match. I'm awful at first matches. I lost to Mike first match. I lost to fucking Wade first match. I gotta learn.
Yeah. So that's what he kind of warms it up. He almost wants to get, you know what I mean? And then he figures them out. He knows what he's got to do. And then, that match was so good last night, and like I said before, once you get your shoulder in, it's very hard to get you out of there, man. From what I've seen, not a lot of people can. Wade had a little bit more of a fight, even than Flip did. So
Wade's got inside though. Flip doesn't have any inside, and I knew as soon as I blocked him off, I was gonna win. But it's so hard to stop him. You have to be very precise. You have to cut him the perfect angle in the setup.
Timing is everything.
Yeah.
What are you using? Are you using a cup, a back pressure, a side pressure? What was your defense? What was your you sensed the chink in his armor.
So the thing with Flip is he has I was figuring this out throughout the match, but his endurance is not very good. But what I was doing was I was loading back pressure like I was going to top roll. I was loading back pressure like this, and I was loading it upwards. So I was kind of like pushing like this. Mm-hmm. And so when you push like that, people expect you to load back, and you're going to go out. So the way I had it set up was so I could do either that, or I could in an instant jam inside if I felt like I was going to have a chance to get inside. So I was basically the whole match I was going back and forth between wearing out his hand, going over the top, and wearing out his thumb, and I was going back and forth between hitting inside and putting damage in his arm.
What move was he doing exactly? What was
He
his
was
hit?
low hand top rolling,
Yeah.
but he does it with no load, and he sets up his thumb so far back, so he just has so much purchase on your hand. He's able to swoop around like this, and his hit is just so nasty.
I see the moment I seen you is like basically you're. I'm trying to get the angle right. It's like I saw the moment like if this is your hand, this was his. It was like boom, and you just had stopped him, and he like came down, and then you were able to go the other way.
Yeah.
It was like it was like two swords hitting together and stopping right there.
Yeah, a lot of respect to him. He's been able to do amazing things in the sport, and I can see why. I've never experienced a top roll like that. In the first round, I was like, oh fuck, I really gotta lock in here.
He looked so good. I had people come up. I had some friends here. I had some people up that came up from work out on Long Island, and we were talking and we were watching your match, and it wasn't looking good for you the first couple
No.
of days.
It
No,
never
I
does.
thought-
Around,
no.
oh no,
It never
oh no.
I was worried. I was worried because that was a hard
Yeah.
hit, and there was no retaliation. There was no hold. There was no. So I was like, did he just really
There was
run
no answer.
hand?
There was not, yeah.
Well,
I
that's
was
what
more
got me.
worried about my elbow. I've been having some bad elbow pain going in this
Yeah.
match. I'm really strong right now. Like all my lifts are really good, but I've had some really bad elbow pain. And I whenever I push like sideways like this, I don't know. It's weird. It's in my elbow. It's not in my tricep, but it's when I push. And I'm just gonna take some time off after this. I've got
That's
a tournament coming up. I got to get ready for that. I'm hosting, and I've got other stuff going on. I'm in school right now. I got to take a break from arm wrestling.
Just tell us real quick. Tell everyone, what do you got coming up?
Oh my God! What perfect! You have the link right there. I'm hosting the New England Arm Wrestling League in a little under 2 weeks. February 22nd. We're hosting it at Dave & Buster's in Natick, so it's family friendly. Bring your kids, whatever. There's a lot of stuff to do in the area. There's a lot of good food in the area, and there's like what's it called? What's that cookie place everyone likes? Crumble Cookie, that's right next door. So if after you make weight, go get some fucking crumble cookie.
There you go.
It's going to be fun. It's our first league event, and I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a really good turnout, despite the time of the year. It's kind of a tough time of year for tournaments, but I do think it's going to be a good event. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased, but I do think we're going to have a good turnout. A lot of solid players are going to be there. I'm sure a lot of the guys Steve had at his event will be there.
Yeah.
We kind of attract the same crowd, get a lot of the same pullers there.
Yeah, definitely.
Where is that?
It's in Massachusetts.
Okay.
It's
How far was that?
It's so from where do
Natick
you
is
live?
just outside of Boston, right?
Yeah, just outside of Boston, and the town name is Woburn.
Woburn. Oh, I'm
If
familiar with
you've
it.
ever been to the New England Arm Wrestling Championships, it's actually the same venue.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
It was a nice place. It was a big place too.
Yeah, and they get the event up on the big screens. They've got big screens for big football games, stuff like that. It's really cool.
Yeah, it is cool. It's really nice. Nice big open space, great food. How many tables are you gonna have?
We're gonna try 4, but it's gonna depend day of. We're gonna do 3 or 4. We're gonna see what the turnout looks like. We're gonna bring 4. If it comes to it, if we don't get a great turnout, we'll just do 3, and we'll have 1 as a warm-up table. I'm sure we'll bring an extra as a warm-up table anyway, but 3 or 4, we're not sure yet.
Always bring
That's
a
one
warm-up.
thing I got to say is Steve had multiple warm-up tables, so Aiden took a page out of his book, every promoter needs to have as many warm-up tables as you possibly can have. There's nothing like warming up with a competitor. Resistance bands, they're just not cutting it. At least never cut it for me. So I'm appreciative as a puller. Right before I pulled, I was able to warm up effectively and comfortably and get all the kinks out because I was running around like a madman, not even thinking about arm wrestling. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna be arm wrestling, so I gotta warm up. Having that table,
it's definitely good that you got to get all the movements down. And some of those arm wrestlers, they get the pops in their elbows. You got to get all your pops out.
Yep.
Got to make sure everything's feeling good.
Yeah,
True.
Let's talk a little bit about Sam's match.
Oh hell yeah!
It was an absolutely phenomenal match. I mean, I'm so impressed by Sam. By just the way that and the people that he's beating at his weight class, 165 is just. I think he beat Malik. He beat Ed Cruz. I mean, he was on a fucking rampage yesterday, and he did absolutely phenomenal. It was almost like an inside hook press that he was doing, and it was just unstoppable. And I don't really give a fuck what you say, Sam, that you said that your left press isn't as good as your right. It's as good. It's definitely.
It's fire, bro. It's fire. It's hard to stop that fucking arm, man.
Yeah,
and you
he's
engage.
One of those guys. Same thing that once you get that shoulder in, it's and let's just say in general, anybody that's seen Sam pull, he's got the stickiest spot right quarters of the way where he can hold you all fucking day, bleed you out, and then bring you right back at the end. So it's disgusting, man. So if you get him out of his shoulder, he has that sticky spot to be able to hold you, bleed you out, and move on to the next. So it's congratulations on that win, multiple wins. Ed did a phenomenal job too. This was short notice. I mean, this was like 3 or 4 days prior. Ed was taking on Sam Mitchell. I mean, the ball's on fucking
Ed. Yeah, dude, that was fucking awesome. Ed's no joke, but like that guy works real hard. So him getting to have the opportunity to work like that, with you, and tell us what your thoughts were on Ed. Was he as everything you expected? Was he as hard as you expected, or?
I mean, I was training for Zach Lee, obviously. So I knew I had to come ready. And when I heard it was Ed, I was like, okay, maybe that's a little easier. And then I start watching some of his matches, and I'm like, he's no joke. He's right up there with Zach. He's right up there with all the top guys. So I wasn't taking him lightly either. So same thing applied. That press is kind of like 50-50. I mean, because a big thing is speed. Like you can see when he got me in that final round where he started to find his lane, I wasn't quick enough. He hit first. So like that's where the press breaks down if I'm too slow. So you gotta be ready to hop on it and
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you did. I mean, you were able to beat him. You were able to get there. You guys went back and forth trying to figure each other out. I mean, Ed going back and forth trying to press, go inside. I mean, he was trying to do anything he could. If anybody's watching the match, I mean, anything he could to try to, get through that fucking wall that he had. So, Eric Fisk, I fucking love Eric Fisk. He's absolutely phenomenal. I've been trying to get him a super match for how long he knows. It's already asked him like 2 or 3 times.
You gotta. It's not me.
I want to match with him.
I don't.
You don't know?
I've had that match a lot of times. He's sticky. It always ends up in some long barn burner.
You always end up in some long barn burner and then have to go inside to try to beat him because
your elbows never go home feeling very good.
No. But he's an absolute monster. He's a beast. He's so fast. I love his intensity too. Yeah, man. I love to say
it's a styles thing too. Like Chris might take his hand a little bit, but my best shot is the press.
Yeah.
And if that press fails, it becomes a hook.
Yeah.
A hook war.
Well, what about the tournament itself, man? How do you feel you did?
Well, I wasn't feeling that good coming into it because my arm, the elbow hasn't been there. But it's like every match I was able to just grind through it. And right hand, I was able to go undefeated. So that felt good. because those were all good pullers. Brian Mallett, Chris Michaels. Got to respect all those guys. Ed.
Yeah.
Those are all elite
And-
pullers, Ben. All
Yeah.
top. And airs, you're talking about number 1, 2, 7, 16. I mean, you're all top guys. You know what I mean? So
Right. Left was the same thing. Same pullers. They're all great.
yeah.
Tough.
Yeah, definitely. What was your favorite match of the night, Sam?
I want to say possibly Brian Malik.
Yeah,
There
Brian.
was the one that I lost too. The one that I lost. Like I was in there, and so was he. We had a good grind.
Yeah.
That was a great match. Brian Malik versus Conrad. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Conrad's unseen, guys. Like, I think Conrad actually, he walked, what did he weigh in at, Steve? You remember?
276.
What you mean 176?
176.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say.
I was like,
276.
he weighed
What the
276. Wait, where was he putting that?
176. Shredded to shit. I mean, he had no legs. He was pure upper body. I mean, his biceps were huge. His arms were huge. Massive. I mean, for a 176-pound guy, I'm saying he was just he looks a lot bigger. He looks like probably a 198 guy. That's what he really looks like, you know?
And he's young. He's like 20 years old or some shit.
22 or something like that, yeah.
No, I think he's 20. I think he's 20
years old?
Yeah, I think he hasn't hit the legal drinking age yet.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, no, he's still a youngin.
That's what
I
I'm
think
saying.
He just turned 20 too.
Next, level like Caleb, and he's 16. Same thing with Conrad, 20, 21, whatever he is, 20 years old. People are now going to start to realize who these guys are. When you're beating, guys like Brian Malik, and he's not an easy.
Brian Malik's no joke. He's no walk in the park, man. He's ranked for a reason.
So just for the fact that what he did to Brian was it was fucking impressive, man. It really was.
Yeah.
I did not. I thought there was going to be more of a fight with Brian and Conrad. Just that hold, man. It's almost like you. It's just if you got the same hold, Sam. That sticky spot, that bicep holds when you're just sitting there 3/4 and holding, letting them bleed out, and then slowly start bringing them back. So very impressed with Conrad.
Very much.
How about you, Aiden? What was your favorite match of the night?
I have to go with Caleb and Cam.
Yeah.
Definitely. Oh my God. Amazing final match. Final match. Although it was kind of all a blur because I was so in this zone.
Oh my God. You were like, it looked like you were on blow, dude. Like you were so like, Jesus.
Dude, I was
so
I was
fitly fucking going back and forth. I was like, you good? You're like, yeah, I'm just amped for my fucking match. I was like, Jesus.
Like, I want to fucking pull.
But it was good, dude. It was good.
But,
I love seeing that. I love that intensity.
Yeah, that one was early enough where I was paying attention. It was the first match. I was into that one. That one was good, and I was rooting on my boy James Rhodes Mason. That one was a little bit easier for him than Caleb's match was, but I wouldn't say it was easy, but he won 3-0 pretty convincingly.
I don't think, and people don't. If you haven't seen Chris Vert pull, he's a really good puller. Dan, you know that. I mean, he's a really good puller. But
yeah,
in general, I thought it was going to be more of a match. Not taking anything away from Chris. He did really good.
Yeah. It's also like styles.
Styles always make a match. Absolutely.
And the top, honestly, they're both going to try to top roll each other. You know what I mean? And it was more on James was just holding him, and it was pretty impressive. You know what I mean? And I knew James is an absolute monster. He really is. And people don't know that either. And yesterday going up against a 200. I'm not sure if it's 240 or 250 right now. Chris Vert, but not only his weight, but also he's an experienced puller for how many years? 6, 7 years, Dan, he's been pulling?
So if I'm like 4.5, he's got about 2 years on me.
Okay.
Yeah,
What do
so
you mean?
he's somewhere around 6.
It's got to be 6.5 years then, right?
Yeah.
Well, James has been sandbagging for like 11 years. So
I heard though he's
fucking-
been actually pulling
you
though,
shouldn't
like
feel too
actually
bad about
pulling for 3 years, 4 years.
Whatever. He's been competing for like 11
yeah?
Really?
years. Yeah, dude, he beat like Tim Lewis in like 2015.
Yeah, he told me about that.
I didn't know that. I thought James
Yeah,
was newer in the
Oh,
scene.
that he said he beat Tim Lewis.
Oh no, he's a scammer. I love him, and I know he's in the chat somewhere.
Oh man,
He's a
he's
scammer.
newer.
He's
Okay.
a really good puller. Really, really good puller.
Because he tried to go to one of my tournaments once. He was like, I should probably pull semi-pro, and I was like, you're not fucking pulling.
Yeah,
semi-pro.
no, absolutely
Fuck
not.
out.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I like the way he talks shit to every single one of his guys he fucking pulls. I love that shit.
They
Dude.
both need to kick a
Starts
field.
with the
Good
shit
energy.
talk, you know?
He's a lover.
Oh
off the
yeah,
table,
dude. He's a
though.
really nice guy. Are you kidding me? He's a fucking great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy. Really nice fucking, but going up against him when you pull him, you better be ready, man. You better be ready to hear some shit.
Yeah.
He lets it loose there, huh?
Yeah. How about
Um,
you, Andrew? What was your favorite match of the night? It could be your match.
I mean, I would say it'd be between that and the Caleb match. Like I said, for more than one reason, but one being I was there. I felt like I was closest to it besides the cameras, because I was right there behind the, on deck there behind the banner.
Mm-hmm.
And then it
Yeah.
was just like the kid was so pumped, and then his teammates were there and everything. So I was kind of, absorbing that energy. And I took that and went. But yeah, no, I would say his match, and then I would say mine. Yeah, I'm going to say that. Like I said, I impressed myself, so I know I sounded real confident in the podcast. Oh, it's going to be an easy day, this, and that. But listen, I was just manifesting that, and like I said, the main thing is I was better than what I was when I faced him at your other events where he was able to hook into my arm. I couldn't figure it out. I wasn't able to hold him when he would surge. So for me, I would say Caleb, then mine. Yeah. That's probably the most excitement that I felt was for those two matches.
How about you, Dan? What do you think? What was your favorite?
So my favorite definitely was the Brian Malik versus Conrad. I props to Conrad.
You just
I
had a super
definitely-
match with Conrad.
Yeah, I just had a super match,
So-
and for him to beat Brian Malik in that fashion really just makes me feel a little bit better about my loss to him, I guess.
I was gonna say,
You
man,
know.
he beat you good, bro. He beat you.
Yeah, he did.
Very convincingly, and I honestly, I was blown away. I did not think, that he had a hand like
So-
that. I did not.
While he beat me in that convincing fashion, but Malik has beat me in a very similar convincing fashion. So, it was like I wasn't. I actually was calling it a 3-2 match. To be honest, I thought it was gonna be a much closer match than it was. Conrad came ready to show up, man, and he did.
Won $2,000.
And it was amazing. I mean, it was a money match, right? There was, they each put 500 up, so Conrad walked away with $1,000, and so being ranked. Now, take notice. 176ers. You got a new player on scene, top 20. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe, and I'm loving it because he's a local guy for me to chase after and keep me on my toes. You better believe I'm training twice as hard now, just so I can keep up with him, or at least get close to him. Because if I can, I think I might have something that, we talked about in the after poll. If I had engaged it sooner, I'd probably give him more of a fight. We'll see. Next time we meet, we'll have to see. Time will only tell. But I will say, I did like the match with Wade Roberts and Jason Ciardi. We have a new team member on City Slickers, man. Welcome to the City Slicker family. I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss you, Jason. Jay, I was honestly, I was rooting for you, but that was a pretty fire match with how strong Wade has become. I'm like, whoa.
And that's able to get down to that weight too. So that's impressive. You know what I mean? So it's I think it was I thought it was gonna be a closer match.
Definitely was intense.
You didn't think so, Aiden?
Wade's too good, bro.
Yeah, I didn't know. I thought Jason was a little bit better.
Bad style match. Jason does really well against people trying to top roll him.
That makes sense.
I don't know. It was I wouldn't say it definitely wasn't a blowout match.
No.
It was just Wade was in control, but
yeah, 100%. 100%. I just thought it was going to be a little bit more of a battle. I know Jason has a good hand, so I didn't. It's just that Wade was stronger, man. He had a nice fucking hook, deep hook, and he was dragging him. So it was a good fight, but I didn't think it was.
One more thing is that when I watch Jason pull, he doesn't seem like invigorated, like he's really in it.
Fired up as he should be.
It's kind of like upsetting to me. It's like to get your head in the game, get some fucking adrenaline going. You know, I brought it up to him. I was because I rewatched his match with Peter Brana, and I was like, dude, what were you doing? You had that match, and you just your head was
slept,
not in the
dude.
game.
He slept right through fucking Peter.
Yeah.
He's got to fire it up. There's some pullers, if they fired it up, got a little angrier. I got a guy I trained with actually. Andrew knows him. Michael Service. This guy, he's one of the strongest 176s. Freakishly tall. I think he's like over.
Dude, I already told him he better not be pulling amateurs anymore.
He's a strong motherfucker. If he fires up, if he gets angry in any form, there's not going to be. I think he'll be a top contender for 176s.
It doesn't even have to be anger. Like I got really fired up when I was pulling Flip, and we were all like smiling and patting each other on the back. You know, like it doesn't have to be like anger. It just got to be like you gotta want to win.
Yeah, you gotta want it.
You gotta want it.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta fire it up.
I agree.
Ramp it up a little bit.
I agree.
Ramp up the energy.
You know, you do the same thing, Dan. You're not the same person.
No, I'm not.
That switch.
I'm never angry when
I'm very I try to be. It was very complex. It's part of my career choice, right? You know, being a massage therapist, I can't be always, you know, like, let's go relax. No, I can't do that. But I got a place to do that with the arm wrestling, to put it at the table and bring the intensity, you know, and just unleash, let go where it's supposed to be. You know what I mean?
I do some salts, man, before I fucking pull and have a nice day.
Well, yeah, I do the smelling salts. That helps me put on that switch.
Yeah.
But
let me ask you guys a question about that.
Yeah.
Do they all smell like ammonia? Are they all?
They're all so different, dude.
They're all different.
There are differences. Okay.
You can get
They're very different. I have a favorite brand.
Yeah.
Steve actually has mine.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he likes my brand.
Yeah, it's good.
What is that?
It's Skullfuck.
Yeah.
From House of Games.
What the fuck? You just say the
you need just like a little like this away, just a little like that, and that's all. That's all you need.
And what's it smell like?
Dead.
Skullfuck.
I don't know, dude. To tell you the truth, it just wakes you the fuck up, bro.
Smells like someone sticking their dick in your
It literally
nostrils.
smells like you just stuck your fingertips into a fucking socket and you're electrified. Like, I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's go.
Like it's like but you feel different. Like as soon as you sniff that shit, I mean, like it's an adrenaline. Like you wake up. You should use some of that shit, Andrew. You know what I mean? You're a little bit sometimes too calm at the table too, and you don't hit as hard as I think. If you got ramped up like Kevin got ramped up, I
think that comes with confidence. You know, I'm still.
You think I'm always confident? Gotta fake it till you make it, man.
Well, I'm leaning towards on the conservative side, the safe side. But it's coming. It's coming. But I internalize. I'm very much focused within. I've always been like that with powerlifting and weightlifting. Before I get underneath to set a PR, I never had to jump around, smack around. I mean, I was
Yeah.
never that. I can get goosebumps in pure silence. I can activate that without
Nice.
anyone even being aware of it. So, but I'll
I
tell you.
I actually offered. I remember Andrew. I offered, hey, you want me to slap your back, wake you up a little bit? Do you
I
remember
mean,
that?
yeah, I would do that sometimes during like squats or something. But no, then I learned to just be able to activate it inside. But funny story about that. My buddy is visiting from Florida, and he came up. He wanted to check out the promotion and everything, and he asked me behind the curtain there, or whatever. He's like, "You want me to slap you?" And I'm like, "No, bro, I'm good." Because listen, he would have done some silly shit. He probably would have smacked me across the face. You know what
Enough
I
to
mean? I would have.
fucking daze you.
Yeah, I would have went out with like a hand in front of my face.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
real quick before we move on from smelling salt. So again, my buddy's up visiting. We're hanging out. It's always a good time. We're just a bunch, silly guys when we get together. So he went outside and he partook in some adult activity. They come back inside, and I go, "Hey man, I'm thinking about bringing this to the tournament. What do you think?" Right? And like just pretend it was this. And I took the cap off. I'm like, "What do you think?" I was thinking about bringing this to the tournament. He puts his whole fucking nose and he goes, and right away he was like, I fucking
Oh
hate you,
my God.
bro. So when I seen that to him, and I know it wasn't skull fuck, but when I seen him act like that, I was like, I'm leaving this shit at home. I'm not even bringing it up.
You don't
He was
want it?
like,
Let me get the bottle, dude. I need a fucking bottle. I got
that was
damn
so
good things
funny.
now.
I don't think I got mine off of Amazon. It just smells like a dirty cat litter box. It's just like straight
Uh,
Oh,
I, I,
ammonia.
I'll show you where I get mine. It's right by my house, actually. Literally, like right down the street.
Yeah, that was funny. I won't look
But
at
yeah,
smelling
no,
salts the same. I'll forever think about him putting his whole nose in it innocently. Like he didn't even give me a second to tell him what it was. I was like, I'm just thinking about bringing this to the tournament. Before I could finish that sentence, he was like, I was like, oh shit.
I forgot who it was or what tournament it was. I think it was at yours, Steve. That somebody took mine and they shut. I said, make sure you hold away from your face to smell it. He goes, I don't smell it. And he went like this.
It's Zeus.
Practically
It
shoved
was
his.
a Zeus, I think.
Yeah, he
Oh,
shoved his whole fucking nose
Shit
into
his
it,
nose in it.
and
Yeah.
his eyes looked like he was gonna pop out of his face, yo. I've never seen anything like it.
It's a real bad prank, man, if you do it on purpose. This was innocent, but it was hilarious. Are you talking about Jesus from Beast Mode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, let me tell you, it's not smelling salts, but Jesus, I can smell that dude when he walks in the lobby from the. I could be up arm wrestling, and I can smell when he comes in. His cologne. Shout out to his cologne. If you know him, you know what I'm talking about. I could smell him 10 minutes before he walks up and says hello.
Yeah.
So, do we cover all the matches, Steve?
Yeah, we covered almost all of them. Ray Romanowski and Derek Perusa. What did you guys think of that match?
I like both of them. I like Derek's left,
Derek's
and
absolutely phenomenal, dude. It's
I
like
told
Yeah,
I
right.
asked I asked Ray. I said, "Hey man, just to confirm, you're out in New Jersey, and I want to move around and link up with different guys. And like I said, 2025 is just putting more effort into learning the sport." But he was like, "Yeah, I'll send you the link. Come on out, train. I know he's got a great hook. I want to learn that."
he's so strong, dude. His right
Yeah,
hand is
So
so
strong.
right
a
and
nice
left.
guy
He's
too.
strong, but his right hand is ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was actually. I will say this. I was expecting Ray to run through Derek a lot faster than he did. Derek gave him a lot more props to Derek because he has leveled up. Is right. Has gotten stronger. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I was impressed by that. That was, that was definitely good. Right-handed. Um, his left, I knew that Derek's left was gonna, be beast. His left is a different creature. He's
Yeah.
definitely leaps and bounds ahead of his right.
That's why he wanted to play left so bad. That's why he was telling me. He was like, "Can we pull left too? Can we pull left?" Now I know.
Yeah.
He's got a real good left.
Aiden, how long have you been pulling for?
4 years.
Okay, I like to ask that question because when you see people doing that well, and I look at it as like every so often you unlock a new skill. And that side pressure came not too long ago for me. So that's like a new development over here. So when you talk about hitting and things like that, and that kind of force and confidence, I feel like that's going to come with
Yeah.
time. But I wanted to ask you, when you go to quote unquote hit, are you in your mind, are you thinking, I'm going in this direction that I plan on moving towards, and I'm taking that to the table, through the table, just to gain position? Or are you saying, I am undoubtedly hitting with all my might and all my confidence, I'm committed to going from 0 to 100 in that direction to the pin pad? Like, explain to me, what is your thought
It
process?
depends. It depends who I'm pulling. If it's someone I can beat in a slow match, or if it's someone I technically want to drain, like when I was pulling Matt, I was not hitting to pin him. I was hitting to gain position and wear him
But why
down.
not flash him
If I was,
if you could?
I don't gain as much out of flashing him, and he could come back the next round and flash me because I haven't taken a lot of his
Okay.
energy. But if I'm pulling someone like Tim Lewis, you said you're
Yeah.
there for that match, I'm hitting him to pin him. I know that if he stops me, he has a good chance of bringing it back and probably beating me. So I'm making sure my angles are correct. I'm lining everything up just so I can slam that way as hard as I can.
And you're just, as much as you can, as hard as you can for the pin.
Yeah, but like I said, it depends. I'm not always going straight for the pin. I'm not always hitting in the same direction. It's really just stuff that comes with time, and a lot of it is I'm not like deciding when I'm like fucking 2 months out from the match. I'm not thinking about. I'm analyzing footage, but I'm not like, all right, this is what I'm probably gonna do. But I know there's a good chance I could get up to the table and I could feel this guy's hand, and it could be something I'm not expecting. So I got to be ready for everything.
Train up everything.
And Dan just made a motion like, yeah, I know what he's talking about. You ever like go and grip up with someone and you're like, holy shit, that plan's not gonna fucking work.
Yep.
You ever like it happens like more than
It
you
happened
think. Like
at the
going off
tournaments,
of footage.
definitely.
Yeah, you're just going off of footage and what you see other people doing, and you're like, damn, maybe I can do this with him. And then you feel that grip, and you're like, fuck that. I got to go a different
part
direction.
of your plan when you.
A lot of it is just you gotta feel them out. That's why I always lose the first match. It's just you gotta
It's
learn.
part of your plan when you're hitting to think like, I'm gonna hit them and I'm gonna time it, and I'm gonna get off so fast or so much further ahead of their reaction time that is constituting a flash pin. Or is it you're just that much stronger in that moment, or what is it? Is it a combination of both?
Well, my speed is really good, but I wouldn't say I'm necessarily a lot faster than most people are. A lot of it is just knowledge and knowing how people are going to pull and what angles you need to hit them at. Like when I pulled Matt Wilds, we're probably about like the same strength in a hook. I just knew I would need to torque down on his bicep to be able to pin him quickly. There's a lot of different factors. You pull different people. There are people I can top roll that I can't beat in a hook. There are people I can hook that I can't beat in a top roll. You just got to learn. It just comes with time, man. The best thing you can do is go to different competitions, grip up with different people. That's probably the best thing you can do is learn by experiencing different grips, stuff like that.
Hey, did you ever go to hit? No.
Sorry, what?
I said, "Do you hear the echo?" Yeah, I told you the same thing. Go to more, places to pull.
Of course, yeah. Did you ever find yourself like going to hit, right, and you get stonewalled, and has that caused you pain, or do you even think about? Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think about any of that?
Oh, actually, I think I don't know if Dan was paying attention, but at the 2023 New Way Nationals, I pulled Zaza, and I hit a brick wall, and it really fucking hurt. But I'm at the point now where I'm really conditioned. So as long as I'm not like getting ripped open in a bad position, it's not really gonna hurt if I hit and then I bounce back. It's really just those long matches that have like a high risk.
I was
of
going to ask
injury.
you.
And I'm not really worried about. I know how to hit, and if I'm like, oh fuck, this guy's about to smash me, I'll lay down. I'm not gonna fucking risk that.
I was going to ask you, like outside of gripping up and practices and things, do you have any table work exercises that you recommend to build up that? Because we know it's one thing to grab a pulley and move the weight slowly, but you can reduce the weight by even 50% and go into it and crash into it, and it's seems way harder than or hurts more than pulling that super heavy weight slowly.
Yeah, so definitely the most important thing is table time, but as far as strength goes and strength you can build in the gym,
conditioning for a hit.
I'd say conditioning for a hit. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about just general arm wrestling. Yeah, bands are good. I don't use a lot of bands except for blood flow after practice. A lot of what I do is just table time, like practice ready goes, simple stuff like that. I was actually, after I got my ass whooped in Montana, I was talking to Mason Drosy about what he does for his timing and his fucking hits, because he makes me look silly with the way he's able to hit. He like trains his hits by playing Beat Saber. You know what Beat Saber is?
The slicing.
So if you don't know what it is, it's kind of like Guitar Hero but with drums. It's like you're reacting to certain things, and it's VR. It's really cool. But yeah, exactly. Yeah. But you there are definitely like things you can do to train your reaction time outside of arm wrestling. But the best way to do it for arm wrestling is by training.
I was thinking just more for conditioning, because again, you're hitting into something and it hurts when it doesn't work out for you,
So one thing that I do is for that, I started with a 10-pound weight with a resistance band and just bounced it in a static hold position
reps.
And just did lots of little reps with that and bouncing it. And that just helps condition, and it builds up my elbow. My elbow, I've never, knock on wood, have any issues with my elbow. I usually have issues with my shoulder or upper arm, but my hand, wrist, and elbow, I feel fairly comfortable and confident about those things.
Hey, I'm going to say this, so it's documented as well. But I noticed from, our guys that we practice with and train with that showed up at Steve's tournament, Tommy, Dan, Lucas, even Liam and
Liam,
all the guys, but Johnny Guns, Johnny Luck, as I'm calling him as of late. The guy won Super Bowl boxes. He won Steve's raffle. He was at King of the Table. He's got the hoodie with
he wanted to give me the fucking he wanted to give me the stuff back, and he's like, I appreciate you, Steve, thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
Like, my dude, you just won this. He goes, no, you can keep it. And I was like, it's a pulley system. It was an expensive pulley system. I want somebody to have the other pulley system. He's like, no. I'm like, you're taking this home then.
Yeah, he's a really good guy. Really good guy. But here's what I was going to say was that, I watched his match. I watched Tommy's match. I watched Lucas' match. I watched Liam's match. I'm watching all of our guys' matches, and the ready go is way lacking. The surging, the guys are conditioned right now to hold and just hold and just hold and just hold. And all I could say to them is, you learn from the losses more, in my opinion, than you learn from your victories. And we'll take this back to the practice and we'll work on what you need to work on. Because there were matches specifically, I can think of, like Johnny Guns and possibly even Dan the Hat Centrella, is that he's in a position where he's got a guy. And I'm like, if you can hold a guy, you can beat a guy. And it was like, Serge, just go, go, go. So there's some good we need to build a good little program, and that's a great topic, to practice on. You got to practice
Yep,
those
using
things.
resistance bands.
I tie the
I gotta
bands.
head
I
out,
tie
guys.
bands.
You gotta go, Aiden. Catch you
Yeah,
later,
I gotta
man.
brother.
go. All
Hey,
right.
good to see you, Aiden.
Yeah,
I'll
dude.
see you.
Bye. So what I do a lot for my hits and ready goes is, and this is like coming from the fastest. I mean, the kid is unbelievable. You can't touch him how fast he is, and he literally wins on skinny little kid on how fast he fucking pulls.
Wow.
Unbelievable. It's milliseconds of how fast he pins this guy. You guys just look him up. Just look up the fastest pin, and he'll
What's
be
his name?
some guy, and you'll be like, "Holy shit!" I mean,
What's his name?
I'm not sure 100%, but I'm sure you could just look him up, fastest pin ever, because it's unbelievable what he does. I mean, to guys that are much bigger than him and
Mm-hmm.
not even close. And what I've seen him do is he wraps around bands from the side of the table to one of the pegs, and till you're, I mean, tight to where you're feeling that weight when you're in the middle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're pretty much hitting that, you know what I mean, over and over, you know what I mean? And your time
Dude, Thomas.
2, 1, 2, you know what I mean? And I see him, dude. I mean, my
His name is
are pretty good. I think I think I usually hit first and in my competition and when I pull somebody.
so. His name is Stu Thomas. Apparently, yeah.
Stu
0.2
Thomas.
second Tim.
0.2 second pin. Not
Wow.
1
Did you
second.
did you meet him? You met him or?
No. I seen him on the internet. I just wanted
Oh,
to see
okay.
how I could work on my ready goes and
Yeah.
my hit.
Yeah.
So I looked up this guy, you know what I mean? And I looked up Coach Ray, Devin Larrett, so it's a bunch of different guys. But in general, when it has to do with speed and hits, that's the guy that you need to look up because it's
Okay.
just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Andrew, you don't see it. You think it's fast forward. You know what I mean? You're sitting there, you're
Wow.
like, and then you see every
Yeah.
matches and you're like, oh my God, bro.
And I mean, the other side of that too is time. With pulling with other practice teams and picking up different skill sets. I do tell people, practice your pins by listening, record a ready go, and listen to the ready go, because that's the other side of it. You have to hear different cadences of the ready go to be prepared to go on the go, not necessarily after someone says go, because if you're not ready to go, then you're not going to be ready to go at any time.
Yeah.
So you got to listen and hear it and go to more tournaments to get better at that, because that's how I got better. I didn't get better by practicing my hits in a practice. I got better by practicing my hits in a tournament.
Yeah, because everything is on the line and it's different.
Yeah.
But also,
Yeah.
like seeing yourself on recording, that's very helpful too. Because for
Yeah.
some of us like myself, seeing yourself in third person and listening to the ready go helps. Like Dan was right there, behind the booth, and I was like, damn, I'm fouling out, and Kevin is very quick, man, for a large guy. So I was asking Dan, I'm like, as I'm catching my breath, I said, how's my timing? And he was like, not good. And I'm like, really? So I'm like, all right, I got to be faster. So getting that feedback, because what you think you're doing and what's actually happening can be two different things.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
Dan called me
yes.
out. I remember it was a World Series, I think it was. But we were, I think it was at World Series, and he was telling me that, he goes, dude, you need to wake up. You're asleep. And I really was. I was catching everybody. And I was having a war with these guys, and I'm sitting there going, what the fuck, man? And but yeah.
Because when it comes to ready go training for me, when we do it at practice, you got to do it at practice that's far enough away from the actual tournament, because you don't want to risk injury. Because that's a very intense impact on the joints. And that's why, many people don't do more than, one tournament every couple of months type of deal, because they need to recuperate and rehab from that intensity. Like some of our guys are saying that their elbows feel fine today. I'm like, wait till tomorrow. We'll see. We'll circle back and see how you feel. Because sometimes it takes a full 24, 48 hours before you start feeling like tonight they may not sleep that well as well as they did last night because they're exhausted.
I slept in pain last night. I barely slept last night, dude.
Yeah.
I feel you. It didn't hit me till about 2 a.m. though.
Yeah, literally.
I mean,
I was in pretty much pain. I was pulling with Michelle.
I seen that at the end. I seen that you were in her press, and I could see her face, and I couldn't see yours, but I knew you were pressing. But it looked like you were giving it a tough, giving all effort.
I'm telling you right now, I can't beat her left. I'm
Yeah.
100%, dude. I will not be able to beat her left. She's way too strong, bro. I'm stronger
I
left.
don't doubt it. I don't
I'm
doubt it.
stronger left, but I mean, right? I think she's hurt, so I was able to, we just really gripped up real quick, and it was kind of like, I put a wall up and put her down. Not even put her down completely. It was like a little slow, and then she's like left, and I was like, yeah, of course. And I knew her left was ridiculous, but I mean, it's like night and day. I mean, her
Wow.
left is. Her back pressure, her drag is ridiculous, man. It really is.
I met her and James at the very first tournament I went to, which was in Atlantic City, and I remember taking from that tournament. Those two, they're very nice, hospitable, easy, approachable.
Yeah.
And I asked them both a question. They may not remember it, but I asked them. I said, "Hey, for a new guy, just starting out, what's the most important thing you should, be working on?" And she gave me a very honest answer. She said, if I could do this all over again, I would start and focus on my hand. The hand is the most important thing. So I took that to heart and bought some handles and things like that and been working on the hand. But yeah, they were cool people, good tournament.
Yeah, great people, man. They're really good people.
It's nice.
Shout out to both of them, for
yeah,
with all the equipment and stuff that they brought. I mean, and James is always a fucking great guy, man. Same thing with Michelle. They're great people.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We have one more match to cover.
You need good
Dave
people.
Seaton, right?
Yeah, Dave Seaton and Evan James Reed.
Yeah. That was a pretty interesting match right there.
What'd you think of that?
I was surprised by Dave, because he looked like, like a version almost of Phil Stinks. Like he was just kept going and going and going.
Yeah, he could pull for days too. Dave Seaton could pull for days. That's known.
No
I thought
joke.
Evan was gonna have a little bit more of a fight with him. As soon as I seen it go into the straps, I knew Dave is much better in the straps. And he's a really good puller. It's a really good puller. Evan is too as well. He was trying to figure him out, so it was hard. Evan didn't really know what he was going to do. People think he was going to post high, so what he was going to do is going to go almost for like a inside hook press. So he was going to do something different than people thought. So because everybody knows that he likes to post really high and likes to pull back and give a lot of back pressure and rise, but I think it could have went a little bit better for him if he was a little upset because of the refs and stuff. I don't know what the call was. I think it was on elbow fouls. I'm not 100% sure, but it was a good match.
Shout out to the refs too. The refs were keeping a close eye on everything. They were doing
Chuck Barlow and John Singley, Ranaconda, Ray Romanowski, Aiden was helping out too. Anthony Citrella, Nick Stone was even helping out too. Jeff Luke, shout out to Jeff Luke. So there was a lot of people that were in and helping out, in and out the whole time. So I appreciate everybody for helping out.
Hey, I'm gonna get off here in a second, but I wanted to, thank you, Dan. Thank you, Steve. You always put on a great tournament. I'm gonna keep telling you, a good event. Like I said before, you're handpicking. You're giving guys like me and everybody else an opportunity to get to know the other pullers, bringing everybody together. I actually got a slice of pizza this time, so thank you for that.
Dude, there was so much food ordered and so much food made, and we ran out of everything. I had to order pizza twice.
Now, didn't I warn you? I think Kevin was trying to get more than one slice.
It was so much. So now we got a little bit different. I'm going to think about a little bit different now. So
But everything was good. The food was good. Having the additional water. I don't know about you guys, but the day of competition, I find myself, maybe it's nerves, I don't know, but I drink like a camel, dude. I don't have to worry about
Yeah.
making weight or anything like that, but I'm drinking. I went through 2 liters of water before I even pulled my first one. Well, I was on my second liter when I got to my match. I mean, so you do the math, but and then so I probably had 3 liters of water or more by the time I got home. Um, but I wanted to, thank you, Dan, for your help with the camera work and advice, training, all that good stuff. Chris
Happy to help,
Burton,
brother.
thank you. Chris
We're
Burton was
stronger
there.
together.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I totally agree. You need a good support system, and arm wrestling's like anything else. It's even though it's an individual sport, it still helps. It still makes a difference when you have a support system. So, with that being said, Chris Burt was there. I looked up, and next thing you know, he was just like kind of like at the corner of the table, and he was like, listen, you need to do this. And he goes, you need to be faster. He just tells it like it is. You got to be quicker. You got to hit. You got to put this kind of pressure. And Dan, I sent the picture of Dan the Hat to the group chat. I said, tell me you're supported without telling me you're supported. And you just see Dan the Hat, like when I won, like in that still image of him, like, so that was pretty
Screaming
cool.
at you.
Yeah, yeah, like in my face. And then my buddy coming up from Florida, and I want to give another special thanks to Paul Cruz. Paul Cruz is not even there, right? Like other
No, he didn't
people,
show it
he's
up.
watching. Let me
No,
tell you,
surprised.
the guy reached out to me, and I think he does it because he knows I'm trying to dislike him, and he's making it hard for me, man. But he texts me. He's like, before the match, he was like, "Good luck today. Go out there, do your
Good.
thing. Don't fuck." He said, "Don't fucking sleep. You got this." And when I got, because my buddies were holding on to my phone, and when I got my phone back, I seen Paul Cruz texting me. He was like, "Great fucking job, brother." And I'm like, so it's good, man. It's the little things. So
Yeah.
getting that support
I
there
agree.
at the tournament and getting that support from even afar, it just made me feel like I secured the victory for Long Island, for everybody, for New York.
Yeah, I agree
That's
100%. I agree
So
100%.
shout out to Paul Cruz.
Absolutely,
I hear
man.
my name chanted, and I'm about to compete, and somebody says
It
something
fires you up big time.
like that amps me up. That makes me want to do better. You know what I mean?
Listen,
Yeah.
I may not come home with any hardware, but pretty much everybody in the crew from Long Island, from the pit crew, secured a win, and that right there is even a bigger win than I could ever dream of. The stream went well, it was smooth for the most part. Little minor hiccups that we know exactly what went wrong. We know how to fix it and repair it, make it so it doesn't happen again. But it's been like a fucking journey and a half to watch you guys prosper the way you did. There's always going to be room for improvement. We're always going to have something else to train harder on and work harder on. But everybody kicked fucking ass, and I loved it. I love being a part of that. So thank you for including me on your journey.
Yes. Yeah. No. I know. Thank you. Well said. No, it was really good. It was really good. Everybody should be proud of themselves. It was really cool. You had like the 3 tables going, and for the most part, things were moving quickly.
Yeah.
I know you had a couple glitches, some hangups, but I mean, it's still a work in progress. But there were a lot of pullers, a lot of weight classes.
227 entries.
227 entries.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
227 entries. I did the math really on everything. So we started at 12:30. We ended around 3:30, 4 o'clock. We started the tournament around 4 o'clock or so, and it went on to 30. So having 12 super matches from 12:30 to about 3:30, I think that's pretty good. And actually only getting the tournament done in about 4 hours, I think is actually pretty good.
Yeah, no, I know. You should give yourself a pat on the back.
Yeah.
That was a lot of pullers, and like I said, it was smooth. It was smooth. I'm going to take off, so I'll say my thank you again.
I'll see you,
Thank you,
man.
Steve. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I'm going to go do some blood flow work. My right arm feels like it was hit with a sledgehammer.
Yeah,
So
my left.
It pretty much was. You called Malcolm.
Yeah. Yep.
Have a good night,
All right.
Andrew.
Good night, guys.
Later, bud.
Bye.
So amazing event, man. I had a blast being able to live stream on the level that I was doing. Shout out, by the way, I got one of the new cameras that was being live streamed by Red Lightning. Robert Kelly, he had a great show this weekend too. Montana Armbender was on this weekend. Definitely tune into that show. A lot of fun.
Josh did a great job. It looked phenomenal. Robert and Josh did a great job.
It looked great. They put on an amazing star-studded cast over there. Their venue was great. The walkouts, everything was top notch, top level.
That's the best place in Montana that you can pretty much go to do anything. You know what I mean? So
yep. Yeah. If you wanna hook up with somebody in Montana, reach out to Joshua Wilson, and he will get you squared away. I think that he ran a beautiful event. I did watch some of it. Didn't get to watch the whole thing, but what I saw, I liked, and I'm sure there's more of it there. I do want to close the show out with my biggest matches of yet. It's my first time being on a pay-per-view card. Mac 3 Talk event being hosted by the Table Monkeys up in Canada. We're going to be in Toronto, Canada. It is going to happen March 8th, so we're less than a month away from it. I am taking on Danimal Labrie, which is the host of Ottawa High Hookers. Really good close friend of Devin Lorette. So he's pretty much embodies a lot of that. He's a little bit of an older guy, but that's not to be taking him lightly. But I'm going to whip his fucking arm off and take his soul through his arm. And, you know, I might even dad move the old man and, you know, show the guy who's about 20 years my senior that, you know, afterwards I'll respect my elders. But at the tournament, I'm going to own him. I'm owning him. Yeah. But Ian Carnegie, JJ Jackson, Jason Constantine, Alex Carey, all you guys, thank you so much for that opportunity, this upcoming opportunity. Check it out. You're going to be seeing a lot more updates. This next week, I'm going to be a little shy of social media, only because I'm getting dental surgery tomorrow morning. That's why I'm a little tired from this weekend's events. I'm going to be KOing a little bit. And then tomorrow, I'm going to have a new face on my face. But again, Steve, bro, amazing event, amazing experience. Everybody's, you know, I think everyone was very pleased, even though the day was long. Some people were like, oh, is this going to go on when's this going to happen? They sat down and they just enjoyed it. I told them, listen, enjoy the ride, man. We got a little bit more than we asked for. We got a good show. We had great food, great experience. Big shout out to Steve again for taking good care. And that's the one thing I want to say. When you have a tournament director, there's a lot of them who really don't want to shut the shit down and kick everybody out. No, he waited to tear down the tables last, taking care of the pullers, taking care of the people who made the tournament run, you know, and thanking people when they right then and there. Like, dude, I know there were moments where you wanted to throat punch certain people, and you kept your cool. I felt your energy. I wanted to throat punch him on your behalf, but you kept your cool and that calm, cool exterior, man. And I'm sorry we didn't talk about this beforehand while Aiden was still on it. Do you have the plaque?
I don't. It's in my car.
All right. Well, we got the City Slickers got Steve this plaque to go along with the banner, just to say thank you, because we're looking forward to our next one now. We got a new City Slicker on the team. I'm excited for that. We're going to Virginia. We're working on finalizing some details on everything about it, but we're going to be having Robert Kelly coming out with live streaming. We're going to be going out to a gun range, I think, and more details to follow. But stay tuned, guys. Virginia Arm Wrestling League, they got a really good show. You know, let me throw that shit up there real quick. Hang on. They got a really good production over there. And we're teaming up with them to bring you some more arm wrestling. And City Slickers are hitting the road again. We're gonna dominate the next region.
Yep. We'll be, in May, the end of May, we'll be down there.
Yes, sir. Excited for this. Any closing notes, man?
No, man. Thank you so much, man, for everything, for helping me out with the tournament, with the live stream. Came out great. All the camera views and everything else like that. And thank you for everyone for really helping out with everything. You know, it wouldn't be what it is without your help and without everyone there. Thank you so much for everyone for coming and enjoying themselves and pulling and eating and just having a great time. And I just appreciate everyone, you know, for coming out there. That means a lot to me. And I'm just going to keep on doing it better, man. Every tournament's just going to get better and better, you know, and that's it.
That's all we can ask for, right?
Yep.
Everybody tune into next week. Next Thursday, we'll be having practice back at the cut. Anybody who's interested, check it out. We are going to be in Bayshore, New York at Clean Cut Fitness. It's Long Island's very own arm wrestling specific and dedicated training site. If you have some talents that you want to share with us to help all of us level up, hit me up. We'd love to see you at the gym. All right.
And just one more last thing. New York Arm Wars 2, April 12th. Everybody get ready. It's going to be ridiculous. Just like Battle of Tri-State 2, New York Arm Wars 2. I'm already designing the awards. So just, I can't wait. They're going to be better. They're going to be bigger. Everything's always going to be upgraded from the last one. So I can't wait.
Absolutely. Fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, dude.
Excited. All right, guys. Catch you guys in the next one.
I'll see you, man. Have a good night.